All right, guys, today we're going to continue transforming quadratic equations. Complete the table below. Use your graphing calculator to help see the key features of the graph as compared to y equals x squared. So I'm going to do the first one with you, and then you're going to go through and do the rest on your own. So we'll start by pulling up that graph. So we have y equals 3 times x minus 2 all squared plus 1. Now remember, that's what's called vertex form, so it gives us the vertex. And here, that negative 2 becomes positive 2, and the 1 becomes positive 1, giving us a vertex of 2, 1. The a is this value here, the h is this value here, and the k is this value here. Remember, for h, it's a positive number if there's a minus sign in the problem. It's a negative number if there's a plus sign in the problem, because the formula is that it should have a minus sign. So if you put a negative in, it would turn into a positive sign. So now it says number of intercepts. Now in this case, like you see in my graph, there are no intercepts. Intercepts are like the roots. So this does not cross the x-axis at all. So there are zero roots. Remember, we called that imaginary roots. So now we can talk about the transformations. It's stretched by a factor of 3, and that's because the a value is 3. There's no reflection across the x-axis, and that's because it's positive. There's a horizontal shift of 2 units right, and that's because of the minus 2. And then there's a vertical shift of 1 unit up, and that's because of the plus 1. So you have to write out all of those parts. You have to give me the a, the h, the k, the vertex, the number of intercepts, and then tell me the transformations that occur as a result. And we can sketch it over here. Since most of my graph is in the first quadrant, I'm going to leave out the rest. And it looks like this. Things to keep in mind, this would be the minimum. It's a minimum because this is a positive function, and the range would be y is greater than or equal to 1. It's all values higher than 1. Okay, so that is the idea of today's lesson. You're going to go through and do those. Actually, no, you're lucky. I get to do one more with you. All right, so here we have that function, y equals negative 2 times x minus 3 squared plus 3. So the a is negative 2. The h is positive 3, the k is positive 3, and the vertex is 3, 3. So now we can graph it with our calculator. We have negative 2 times x minus 3 all squared plus 3. Graph. And we see that it intersects the x-axis twice, so there's 2 intercepts. All right, so again, we have our graph here, which is mostly in the 4th quadrant, so I'm not going to graph much of the rest. Pull up my different color here. We know that the vertex is at 3, 3, so I can say it's about here, and then show that this is going down that way. So in this case, this is a maximum, and the range would be y is less than or equal to 3. So it's every point lower than 3. But now we need to talk about the transformations. So since a is negative, we have a reflection over the x-axis. We have a stretch by a factor of 2. We have a horizontal shift. Right 3 units. And we have a vertical shift up 3 units. Done. Okay, so it's just being able to recognize what the parts of that equation give us. Okay, so you're going to complete the remaining problems before moving on to today's exit tickets. I'll be around. Make sure you ask questions if you're unsure.